This presentation explores the ODSP program and the important role family physicians play in successful applications and appeals. This presentation is for community legal education. It is intended as a brief overview of ODSP and should not be construed as legal advice. For legal advice on any matter, contact Queen's Legal Aid or a lawyer directly. ODSP is governed by the Ontario Disability Support Program Act. This act was established to provide income and employment support to eligible persons with disabilities, recognize that the government, communities, families, and individuals share responsibility for providing such support, and to be accountable to the taxpayers of Ontario. The ODSP Act defines a person with a disability as someone who has a substantial physical or mental impairment that is continuous or recurrent and expected to last 1 year or more. The direct and cumulative effect of the impairment on the person's ability to attend to his or her personal care, function in the community, and function in a workplace results in a substantial restriction in one or more of these activities of daily living. This all must be verified by a person with the prescribed qualifications. Among these individuals are family physicians. As part of the application process, a qualified individual will fill out a health status report for their patient. Usually this is a family physician who knows the patient well. The HSR allows the healthcare provider to note and verify conditions their patient suffers from, the resulting impairments of their body and mind, restrictions they suffer as a result of their impairments, and the likely duration of impairments and restrictions. The HSR also provides the opportunity to submit additional supporting documents and an intellectual and emotional wellness scale. It is often helpful for patients, even those whose impairments are entirely physical, to fill this section out to determine the impact of their impairments on their emotional health. The Activities of Daily Living Index must be filled out for all patients. This assesses how a patient's impairments impact their ability to perform normal activities of daily life. The healthcare professional also has the option of adding notes. While this may seem unnecessary, a thoughtful narrative can be very helpful in understanding the issues the patient is dealing with. The 2014-2015 annual report of the Social Benefit Tribunal indicates that there were 13,207 appeals on ODSP matters. 11,216 of those appeals were for refusal of ODSP. In total, 5,090 of all ODSP appeals were granted. These statistics suggest that a high percentage of ODSP claims being denied by the DAU at the initial application stage are meritorious. It can take up to 10.5 months for an appellant to receive ODSP benefits. This delay can have a significant impact on appellants. A survey conducted by the Daily Bread Food Bank showed that 53% of respondents who reported themselves as having a disability and not being in receipt of ODSP resorted to inadequate housing, while 47% reported going hungry at least once a week. This delay can also impact an appellant's already limited physical and mental health, and appellants may struggle finding the energy to pursue their appeal. This project will explore some reasons why claims are denied at the application stage and what factors play a role in successful appeals. Ultimately, we will demonstrate the significant impact family physicians can have on their patients' applications. Denial of applications can be due to a lack of pathology, credibility, or both. Denial usually occurs where impairments or restrictions are not verified, where connections between impairments and restrictions are not made clear, or where restrictions do not appear proportional to impairments. Applicant credibility is also crucial. The applicant's credibility can be significantly enhanced by a thorough application and bolstered by supportive consultations and reports. The credibility of the healthcare provider is also important. While there can be a perception of family physicians as patient advocates, it is also recognized that family physicians often know their patient's health best, and their opinions are important consideration. Research into SBT appeal decisions seems to reveal that one heavily weighted element of successful appeals are family physician reports supporting or confirming the evidence of the appellant. This appears to be particularly true in cases where the impairment is difficult to establish on the basis of objective medical evidence alone, such as chronic pain, chronic fatigue, or mental health issues. In a successful appeal by a patient suffering from chronic fatigue, a member noted in their decision that they gave significant weight to the family doctor's opinion that the patient is severely disabled by her medical conditions and is unable to pursue any sort of gainful occupation. She is now in a state of major depression as she is understandably very worried about her future and how she will manage to support herself if she is unable to work. In a successful appeal by an applicant suffering from chronic pain, the physician's supportive opinion was given significant weight as he had been treating her since 2013, and his opinion was by and large consistent with the other documentary evidence provided. I am persuaded by the physician's opinion. The physician wrote that the appellant is truly disabled by her chronic pain. Even short comments from a healthcare provider can help applicants be successful on appeal. In a case where the applicant suffered from depression and anxiety, a member gave weight to the following. The patient struggles with anxiety, depression, difficult to go out and interact. Just as supportive comments or evidence of corroboration are important to the success of appeals, so a lack of support or evidence of corroboration seems to be a significant factor in the tribunal's decision to deny an appeal. In a case where the appellant suffered from chronic fatigue, a member denied his appeal, partly because the healthcare provider's evidence did not corroborate the appellant's oral testimony as to the impact the impairment had on his daily life. The issue here involves the verification of restrictions. As with impairments, restrictions must be verified in order to be considered. Similarly, in a case where the appellant suffered from chronic pain, the tribunal noted, the doctor failed to provide detail in the application about chronic pain and degree of restriction. The information provided by the doctor in the application is scant and not particularly supportive. He doesn't make any noteworthy, strong, or supportive statements on behalf of his patient. Even where doctors take the time to submit notes along with medical evidence reports, the level of detail and tone of the notes are scrutinized by the tribunal. In a case where an appellant suffered from anxiety and depression, the reasons for denial included that the medical reports and clinical notes submitted did not otherwise provide much information about the verified impairments. The clinical notes did not persuasively describe significant symptoms, treatment, or restrictions related to the appellant's verified impairments. It is clear from these reasons in successful and unsuccessful appeals that the tribunal gives significant weight to reports including comments, notes, and statements from healthcare providers and analyzes these for their detail, tone, and level of corroboration with the appellant's evidence. Family physicians can help their patients who are seeking ODSP at both the initial application stage as well as on appeal in the following ways. Completing the Activities of Daily Living Index in consultation with the patient, including all impairments and associated restrictions, including insightful information about the effects of impairments that may be difficult for the applicant to explain, completing the Emotional Health and Wellness Scale of the HSR, even if the impairments are primarily physical. Where impairments are episodic, noting their frequency and severity, writing legibly, considering word choice, using common language as much as possible, and explaining patient treatment plans, including medications and dosage. If an ODSP claim is denied, doctors can help their patients on appeal by commenting on the disability adjudicator's conclusions for denying the application and additional medical reports, where impairments were not noted in the original application, confirming whether they existed at the time of the director's decision, their expected duration, and associated restrictions, and addressing directly the cumulative impact of multiple impairments. Thank you for watching this video. We hope the information it provided will be helpful to you and your patients seeking ODSP support.